Step into the Dueling Dimension Gaming Tavern.
Hey guys, Saber Duelist here. I'm here today with the Oracle to go over deck profile, Trapself, Vernusylph, or Trapself. You've probably seen a couple duels on the channel, so I'll pass it over to Oracle to go over his deck profile.
Okay, hi, hello, and welcome to another deck profile. Today I'm going to be showing you the Traptrix Vernusylph deck profile that I've been running for the last few years and continuously upgrading and changing. I'm going to go through what the deck comprises of and what the combos are like. So we'll start with the Traptrix engine. We run 3 Mantis for the searches. We run 2 Mamelio standard. You can run 3, it's okay, it's up to you, doesn't matter. We run 1 Dionia, 1 Perdika, and 1 Vesiculo. The monsters are very simple, very small package, just so that you can get into it quick and get out of it quick. You don't really need it for anything in particular. It's just fuel, really, for the other side of the deck. And I'll get to how that works after, though. You also play 1 Garden as a Dueling spell for the deck. The draw spell's okay as well, but it's a bit slow for this type of build. 2 Holotea and 2 Gravedigger's Trap Hole. I have been experimenting with Atrax recently, just because she's been pretty funny in the past. So feel free to do what you will with that. That's the Traptrix engine. We'll then get onto the Vernusylph engine. Again, it's pretty small. It's the 3 Flourishing Hills. Vernusylph and the Flourishing Hills is like your main starter. You can search the Vernusylph card. You have the Misting Seedlings, which is like a secondary starter. She searches an Earth Fairy, any Earth Fairy, really. And then there's the Foreign Mountains, which gets you a draw. But they all do the same thing. They all send a Vernusylph card or a monster from the hands to the grave with themselves. They do the action to search or draw, and they the special summon from grave 1 Earth monster that you've chosen. But the catch is that you can only activate and resolve the effects of Earth monsters for the rest of the turn after you've used the effect of a Vernusylph. Finally, for the Vernusylph engine, there's Vera, Vernusylph Goddess. She is the boss monster of the deck, really, in terms of the main deck archetypes. She's a lot of things in one card. She responds to the resolution of a monster effect that would activate if you control 5 or more Earth monsters, which is highly viable and very easy done in this deck. She steals monsters from your opponent, doesn't give them back, turns them to Earth, and she's a free quick effect revive for an Earth monster once per turn from the grave. So she's very versatile, it's very good. That's the Vernusylph side of the deck done. Moving on, we'll have the tech. Well, I say tech, really, it's mostly just two Bestials and a Councillor Lily. In fairness, the side deck is riddled with different bits and pieces that you can use to further the deck and advance the deck, but I find that mostly playing against Lights and Darks, the Bestials are really good for interruption during your opponent's turn. Councillor Lily is literally part of a combo. She's a search target for the Misting Seedlings. So she's the only level 3 Earth Fairy tuner in the game. So you can search her, and then because you have a level 4 on the field, we'll just reach into the extra deck quickly and show you something quick. We can go into the Circle of the Fairies, which will give you another normal summon. You can't activate its effect, but the effect of normal summon is passive, so you do get away with that. Also, because you won't be able to increase the attack with the Circle of the Fairies, Councillor Lily kind of accommodates for that. You deduct 500 life points, and then you gain 1,000 on the monster you've just summoned for the rest of the turn. Again, it's pretty versatile. It has a lot of different things it can do and a lot of things it wants to do. It just depends on what you want to do with it and how you decide to take your game from your opening hand. Which again is quite a versatile thing, because you could end up with Traptrix and a couple of Vernusylphs, ended up with a Flourishing Hills, a Misting Seedlings, and a Mantis is usually a good day at the office for this deck. But again, you want to keep your ratios low just so that you can get into all of the engines. The control aspect, we have the triple Tactics, Thrust, and Talent. Both are good in this deck, especially for the more hand trap heavy games that you can go against these days, and monster effect based games and decks that you go against these days. obviously you're going to be able to draw a look at your opponent's hand, throw one back into the deck, take control of something. You'll be able to set a normal spell from the deck, as well with the thrust. So you get access to Change of Heart, Mind Control. These two are brilliant because again, the deck likes to steal monsters, so we just spend our time stealing monsters and using our opponent's stuff as support for our extra deck. And for certain other plays in the deck, if you note Garden, Garden will let you target a monster that you control. If you've stolen a monster with a mind control, you can target that monster. You can banish it, get a normal, get another special summon of a Traptrix monster from hand or grave. And then obviously you just have Cosmic Cyclone for that back row hate because everyone likes to recur things. You're not recurring something that's banished, really, are you? So it works for this scenario. The other side of things is the hand traps. Now I didn't include the Magna Hut and Druid Swarm in this because I don't really see them as hand traps. I see them more as utilities. But we play the 3 Ash Blossoms. Obviously, this is a standard staple in any deck. I'll say it again because I've said it before and I've always said it. 2 draw. Even before the limit on draw, I believe 2 draw was more than enough for the ratios that we play here. The 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is just good interruption. Remove something off the field that's a material. It can remove something off the field like a field spell, continuous spell. It's quite a good roadblock for someone. They don't expect it. They usually expect again the Ash Blossom, the draw, or even imperms, which again we play 3 of. As in every package in every deck that you'll see me do, there is exactly pretty much the same layout. It might differ from the Ghost Ogre, but most of the time you'll see the same layout in hand traps and the board breakers that I try and use. For now, we'll get onto the side deck. Now the side deck's pretty interesting because it does house some extra plays. Extra hand traps, of course, a necessity right now. We've got Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion at 2. We have a spare copy of Mamelio, the Traptrix Mamelio, just in case we want extra Traptrix plays. Searches for trap holes. She's also a mandatory non-once per turn target and pop for the back row. So even if your opponent negates her, you go and you get another Vernusylph, you can special summon it back. You can get the pop off. During your opponent's turn, if you control Vera, you can special summon the Mamelio back, get the pop. It's all about how you want to play and how you rotate the monsters in and out. Again, we have extra support in Thron, the Disciplined Angel. If a Earth Fairy monster will go to grave while this card is in your hand, you can special summon it from your hand. The neat little trick is that the double resolution of the Vernusylphs is that when you add Thron with the Misting Seedlings, if you didn't add Councillor Lily, what you'll get is the Misting Seedlings will resolve in grave to special summon an Earth, but at the same time you'll get an extra activation from Thron in hand because technically the monster was sent to grave still while Thron was in your hand and it was still resolving. So you can special summon the Thron too, so you get an extra level 4 on the field, which is a decent body for the XE summons. An extra copy of Vera just because an extra utility is good sometimes. 2 Radu, the Dragon Rulers of the Boulders. It seems a bit weird, but it's an Earth monster that can activate in your hand and in grave, and it can be sent and summoned by the Vernusylph. So there's so many ways to get it out, and so many things you can do with it. It'd be daft not to. You could turn it into a Flare Metal Dragon, which again is a passive effect, so it's not affected by the lockout effect of the Vernusylphs, which again is the activated effects that you can't activate for the rest of the turn that aren't Earth. If you do plan to go a bit more of the set route, or you find yourself against something like the Typhoon archetype, we have Lord of Heavenly Prison. It's a good utility, free special summon, free set. Big monster, 3k and 3k. Nibiru, because people like to special summon a lot. Harpy's Feather Duster, again for back row heavy decks. I keep it sided because I prefer to use the Cosmic Cyclone. And then we have Koyuri Getsu. This is a bit of a weird card. Basically, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower fairy, spellcaster, winged beast, or beast warrior monster from your hand. And if you do, you can equip it to this card. The idea was that because of its second effect, where it spins all the dragons on the field back to the hand, was that during the era of Blue Eyes Blader, you could play this because everything in here that is a Vernusylph or other is a fairy. If it's not a Traptrix monster, it's a fairy. You could basically activate Koyuigetsu, special summon a Vernusylph, let it be turned into a dragon, and then return the Vernusylph to hand and all the monsters on the field to hand without actually activating a monster effect that will be blocked by the fact it's a natural dragon from field presence in the Blader sense. It also works in other decks, such as Tenpai. Tenpai can't respond to that, they respond to battles, so they just end up losing their field and it goes back to hand. The last card in the side deck, and I know it's not a full side deck right now. As I said at the start, this is going through some work. Is Flare Metal Dragon, which pairs with the Ruler of the Dragon, Dragon Ruler of the Boulder. Sorry. That's the side deck complete. We'll move on to the extra deck, and we'll finish up from there. Sorry, I get a bit, you know, about my decks. So we'll start with the links. The Traptrix Sarah, obviously it's a necessity in Traptrix. You're going to link one into Sarah a lot. Whether you keep her on field is up to you. Just make sure her effects go off as they should. This is where Holotea comes in handy. You're able to go Sarah. You can keep onto your Vernusylph combos. You can special summon another Traptrix monster, Mamelio. Mamelio is going to activate regardless of whether anything's on your opponent's field. It's going to activate Sarah to set. Sarah's going to be able to set the Holotea. You've got a trap in hand. You can activate the Holotea, send the trap in hand to grave, and then you get the effect to special summon from deck with Sarah after the effect of the trap. So you basically get 2 monsters for the price of 1. I'll leave the Link 2s alone for a moment because they're a bit different. We only play the Link 3 and the Link 1 Traptrix. The Ateopus doesn't really come up much. I think it's something that I'm going to look to side more often, and look for something else to main. But yeah, they're basically the Traptrix monsters of the extra deck for the Link side. The Link 2s, SP Little Knight and the IP Masquerader, obviously if you know what they do, you know what they do, but the idea is to, before you end your turn, you go into IP Masquerader to be able to go into SP Little Knight to be able to fuel other plays later on, and I'll explain them in a moment as well. So we have Blackluster Soldier, the Soldier of Chaos. It's a Earth. Link 3 is pretty easy to make, especially in this deck because you can put some pretty high levels in it that are pretty generic and easy to get out. You can get the protection for him as well. Not only that, but you actually get to activate his effects, and it's very easy in the deck to get out. It's not something that's very difficult. G-Golem Dignified Trilithian, again another one. This is pretty heavy on the effect. It's got quite an essay for a text box, but the basic gist of it is that it forces your opponent into a battle phase if they have a monster that can battle. It actually reads if your opponent controls a monster that can battle, they have to battle this card, so they have to go to battle phase to battle this card. It also has a negate and an attack drop, and it has an attack boost. A pretty good utility, 3200 Link 4. And again, it's not that hard to get out. You can also get it out alongside Saryuja Skulldread. Obviously, if you know what Saryuja does, you know why we're playing this. It isn't Earth, just to you know, put that out there. A lot of people mistake it for a Dark because of what it is. But again, for a Link 4, you can actually make this to its fullest potential and get complete hand resets off it. The deck itself also has a lot of draw power, which I'll show you in a moment. Beginning the XZ side of things, we'll start with the Traptrix XZs. We'll start with Rafflesia and Pinguicula. Now, Pinguicula is great because while she has material, she's unaffected by traps. But the materials that she has, so say like she has a fairy, a Vernusylph, level 4, like Flourishing Hills, and it has a Mantis that's also a level 4, and an insect. She becomes immune to insects, traps, and fairies, which goes handy with the next part of an effect, which says that if an opponent's monster is sent to the grave or sent to the banish by a card, you can target and attack one of those cards to this card as material, and it becomes immune to that too. So say like you're playing against a branded player, he starts with a branded fusion, he sends the Albaz to grave to make the Lubellion. You can leave him pretty much without many plays if he's using it to enhance another deck like a hybrid. You can take the Albaz away, you can take the material that you intended to use to make the Albaz to make the next monster, but it's usually better to take away the fallen of Albaz to prevent any further branded plays. But she also becomes immune to whatever typing she has attached to her as material, and she can gain materials pretty quick, especially since she can gain off of the garden In fact, there's so many things that she can gain off really, just through banishing. SP Little Knight, she can gain off that during your opponent's turn. When your opponent summons, you can make the SP Little Knight. You can get the banish off with SP Little Knight, but the best one is waiting, going for the quick effect for SP Little Knight, and then banishing and then getting the effect off it because then they don't get the monster back. And then you have Rafflesia, and Rafflesia does exactly what she's always done. She's a very defensive monster, 2500 defense, 300 attack, and she basically just copies the effect of a trap hole in the deck where an opponent would activate an effect that correlates to an effect that is on the list of a whole trap in your deck. That was a mouthful, I'm sorry. Continuing on though, we'll get into some of the stall cards that we play. I mean, everyone's got to play at least one, but we play two. We've got Crooked Cook and we've got Baguska. Obviously, there's two different things. Crooked Cook, while I control nothing, apart from Crooked Cook, it's unaffected by card effects. And Baguska, again, it's another one where if your opponent's special summoning a lot, but you notice they're not really playing much that can remove effects or stop effects, or maybe they're just not, equipped for Baguska. It's a good one to just be able to play. It stops a lot of stuff that would normally cause you problems. Again, stuff like Tempai is affected by Baguska because of its defensive flips. On that, we've also got the number 70 Malevolent Sin. I know it's a dark, but the point is that it's a late gamer. If you need that extra banish for a search for Pingawicula for like a turn 5, turn 6 onwards win, this deck's pretty quick. It's an OTK, really. It's a decent rogue strategy. But if you need that extra material for Pingawicula to go and search a Mantis, to go and get a search, or to go and make one final monster, to say like Baromet, to get a free draw to be able to close, then Malevolent Sin's really good. It gets a target banish, and then it gets to increase its attack and level when it destroys a monster by battle. So it is really good still. Circle of the Fairies we talked about before with the Council of Lily. She brings this out, and basically you get your free normal summon extra for an insect or plant monster. It also gets the attack boost when it's summoned, but it doesn't because you're locked into Earth effects, so you just get it off Council of Lily anyway. And then we have Baromet, the Sacred Sheep Shrub. An interesting card. You can detach, so you can detach one material from this card, target one normal trap in your graveyard. You can return it to the deck and then draw one. And then if a normal trap goes off, except during the damage step, you can detach one material from an Eggsy monster on your field, not specifically this card, but any Eggsy monster on the field that you control, and you can special summon a level 4 from your hand. So say like you have a Mamelio in your hand and your opponent activates the normal trap, say Shade Brigandy in at the start of their turn, you can summon the Mamelio, you can instantly get rid of whatever they've got set, whether they're playing Labyrinth, whether they're playing Mech Knights, whether they're playing, I don't know anything that they're playing. But really and truly, this is everything for the deck. It's more of a rogue strategy than it is meta. It doesn't take a meta stance. It doesn't try to be. It's very much a homebrewed deck that came out of looking at typing and attributing. And basically just allowed me to say, okay, so these work off Earth, they send the Earths, and they activate the Earth, so they work together. Send the Flourishing Hills, send the Mantis, you get the Flourishing Hills to search, you add your Misting Seedlings, you summon your Mantis, you have your Quick Effect Mantis if you need it, but you don't, you link off, you're still not normal summoned. So you're basically playing a game where you don't even have to normal summon if you don't wish to. So you have 3 normal summons essentially for no reason. But yeah, that's Traptrix Vernusylph, and I hope you enjoyed the profile.
All right. Thanks, Oracle, for the profile. And as always, if you guys have questions about the deck profile, you can jump into our Discord. Links in the description below. And just like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. So until next time, peace.
Like and subscribe.
Hey guys, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. And if you want to talk about this video, other videos, or even get help with Yu-Gi-Oh decks, you can just jump into the Discord. The Discord link is in the description below. Hope to see you there. Peace.